Welcome to another Wichita Toy Train Club Lionel product review. I'm Zach Rapp. Behind the camera we have Chris. And today we're going to take a look at the new Lionel Union Pacific Fox River Theater car. Before we go into a deeper look on Lionel's rear rendition, let's a little bit of history about the Fox River. The Fox River was built in 1954 by Pullman Standard as a 2-bedroom, 2-compartment buffet lounge sleeper for Canadian National Railway as number 1087. Then named Cape Breton. The car was part of such trains as the Montreal-Washington and the Montreal-Vancouver Super Continental. The car was purchased by Via Rail Canada in 1978. Reporting marks remained unchanged. 5 years later, the car was sold to Rail Travel Associates, which in 1984 sold the car to Milwaukee Railcar. Milwaukee Railcar reconstructed it into a theater inspection car, complete with rearward-facing traced seating for 28, affording a view of the retreating right-of-way through a full-width picture window, which is protected while in storage by a roll-up metal shade-style cover. In 1985, the Chicago and Northwestern Railway bought the car and gave the number 420, and then named Fox River. The car came under new ownership once again after the Union Pacific and Chicago Northwestern merger a decade later. Fox River was then taken to Northern Railcar in 1977 for rebuilding and floor plan renovation. It is now equipped with a gallery for the preparation of buffet-style meals and received an interior wood upgrade in 2008. So a few features on the Fox River. This is a Lionel 21-inch passenger car, so it has all the basic features of the new 21-inch passenger cars, along with the flicker-free LED lighting and the die-cast metal dynamic coupler. Some features specific to this model: it has a high-def 1080p camera that transmits live video to a mobile device or tablet or a computer, and you can take videos or pictures. This also has a super capacitor on the camera, that way it has uninterrupted streaming, along with all the detailing for a theater style seating in the back and the big picture window in the back, along with a scale coupler. Let's go in for a closer look. Alright, now we're looking at the rear of the car, and as we can see right in the back here, we have our big picture window in the back that faces the rear of the train. There's some nice little lights down here that illuminate when power is onto the track. Some nice grab irons down below our scale coupler. There's a couple steps here and some grab irons back here. The car looks wonderful. Anyone that knows there's been some quality issues with the UP Excursion set, this car is perfect. I haven't heard anything wrong with this car, and I hadn't. About the only thing I have is there's a little bitty imperfection right here in the paint, but compared to the Excursion 4-pack Conundrum, this is a beautiful, perfect car. My hats off to Lionel on their quality assurance on this. Moving on, we have those lights down there, and we got a couple more lights up here. We'll look at those a little bit closer. As we can see looking down the car, right in here we have some big picture windows down the side. This is all where the theater seating is, so it kind of steps down, the windows step down along with the seating. That lets you see kind of a big 360 view type deal out the rear of the train, and all of our usual features on the 21-inch passenger car with the nice looking truck side frames. Okay, now we're going to turn on track power and turn on the lights. We figured we'd go ahead and go show you how long it takes for those to turn on. This is with all the 21-inch passenger cars. But with the capacitor, it takes a while for them to for that capacitor to charge up and for them to come to full brightness. So we'll go ahead and turn on track power in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think that's about as bright as they get. It might get a little bit brighter, but roughly it takes a little under a minute for those to charge up and be as bright as they'll get. We went ahead and left the lights on, and I wanted to go ahead and point out, so we have our lights down here that are on, and just kind of note, I believe Lionel probably used a generic tooling, made a generic tooling for this car, so this isn't quite exact to UP's version of the Fox River, and I just wanted to point out a couple of the differences. So down here on the actual one is, there are 3 lights on each side down low, and I'll put up a picture of the rear of the actual Fox River in the post, so you can see what I'm talking about. And up here, the big white lights and our red markers are flip-flopped also in the Fox River. And then the actual one doesn't have this little notch. This little notch is actually pushed up, and the lights are just kind of right here. So again, it's a little different. Not everything's exact or perfect, but I just thought I might go ahead and point that out. Okay, now we're looking straight at the back, and we can see all of our theater seating back here going all the way back into the car. And right there in the middle, we see a little black box right in between those 2 front seats. That's our camera, and that's where that placement is, and that shoots out back. That way we can see everything on the rear of the train. Okay, we've flipped the car around so we can see the other side along with the front of the car. And like I said, with all the usual 21-inch passenger car features, so we have our diaphragm and whatnot back here. We have a sprung opening door here, and it has kind of a vestibule area. A few of the cars have this and some don't. I assume Lionel's done that along with the prototype, so this has kind of vestibule area here. That's another door that doesn't open that goes into there, along with some grab irons. And right down the side here, we have a nice crisp Union Pacific. Looks very nice, along with our UPP 420 and our Fox River down here. And one other thing to note is, like we said before, the Fox River has kind of like a buffet style seating type deal on the inside. So I imagine back here would be kind of the kitchen-ish area, and then here we have our windows are whited out. We can't see inside there, and that is where all of our electronics are for the Wi-Fi camera. Okay, we got the car flipped over. Now looking on the other side, right in here we have all those beautiful underside detailing Lionel's put on all the 21-inch passenger cars, which look wonderful. We have our product number with our Built by Lionel 2018 on the bottom. Over here, here's one of our trucks, and as usual with all rolling stock, it's recommended to go ahead and dab a little bit of oil where those needle point axles go into the bearings, along with just a little bit of oil right there on the center rail pickup roller. That keeps things from squeaking. I've been putting a little bit of oil right in here. There's a little bitty copper strip that picks up the power from the axle. I've been putting a little bit of oil on there on these particular cars because if you've watched our 4-pack review, you probably heard all of those cars squealing and squeaking. I've got most of that down, but it's still kind of there. For whatever reason, these cars like to squeak. Moving on, right here we have our camera on-off switch, and this just simply turns our camera on and off. Right over here we have our interior lighting on and off switch. So this turns off our interior lighting. It also will turn off our lights on the exterior of the car at the rear. And then moving on, we have our reset button. This is used on the camera if any of the settings get all messed up or some way or somehow. Or if you connected it to your home Wi-Fi and you want to go back to using it with it producing its own Wi-Fi, which we'll get into later. Just push and hold the reset button for about 5 seconds, and it usually takes about 2 minutes for it to come back online with factory settings. Okay, so now we got power to the track, and we're going to go ahead and go through how we have to hook up to the camera. In this case, we're going to use an Apple iPad. You can use any Apple product, iPhone, anything like that, or any Android device, as long as it can download Lionel's app. So first thing you would want to do is download it from the App Store, which we have. We have it up here. It is called Lionel Wireless Camera, I assume. I can't see the rest of the name. But first, before we open that up, we want to go into our settings and our Wi-Fi. And trackpad has been on for a little while, so we can see we have this this kind of a long name for a wireless signal, and that will be the car. So go ahead and click on that. Don't drop the iPad when you're trying to do this. And it doesn't, there we go. So it doesn't necessarily always show up that you're connected, but it usually does once you open the app. So we'll come over here and we open up our app. We'll just hit allow for this. And this particular one has already found the camera and it's been added. This app seems to not be quite perfect. There's some odd notifications it'll give you. But if it didn't already find it, we would have to come up here and hit add and then set up a Wi-Fi connection. Or did I click the wrong one? Sorry. So we would want to add a new online camera and then click search LAN and it would see our car and it says it already exists, so we're good to go there. Now this I just clicked earlier, we can go into here and we can make the car piggyback off our home or right now our club Wi-Fi. We're not going to do that right now because it tends to work best if you actually just connect it to the car's camera directly, because it doesn't have to go through and piggyback off the other network. It's also good to note at this point in time that Lionel says this car can be used in both command and conventional environments, but in the manual it does recommend that you only use it in a command environment, because in a conventional environment we're messing with the voltage on the track, and that can be hard on the electronics for the camera, and it might make that signal hard to come by, and it might make it hard for it to connect. But we're all connected, so we'll go ahead and click on it. We'll go ahead and skip on this message, and we pull it up and we can see Chris still sitting there. And we're good to go. If we go ahead and tap on this, we get a whole bunch of different options for the camera. Up here is going to be our quality. If I can click on it. And this gives our different options. It is a 1080p camera with a maximum of 25 frames per second, but only at 720 pixels. So HD would be our 1080 and high would be our maximum frame rate at 720p. Down here it does have a microphone speaker deal. There is no speaker or microphone in it. We can flip our image, flip it back. We can flip it upside down or anything like that. And up here is a couple other options. I would recommend that you skim through the manual when you're trying to go through this, either on the a mobile device or on your computer. The manual isn't perfect, but it helps answers a lot of questions you might have. So we'll go through here. It gives you a couple other contrast options, and it has a lot of options that this card doesn't have, so I think they try to foolproof the app so they can add stuff to future Wi-Fi cars with the camera. Down here we have this little kind of camera icon. If we click that, we took a picture, and we can come over here, hit that video camera, and we started recording. Now, like I said, there is no microphone, so there is no audio with the video. So we'll go ahead and bring this back, stop our recording, and now we can go back. And if we come over here to snapshot, here is our snapshot. It's got our date and time and the name of the camera, which you can change the name of the camera. You just kind of have to play with the app, and I think it's also in the manual. One thing to note on that camera is you do have, whoa, we did zoom up. Look at that. Down here at the bottom, it seems that the camera always catches the edge of either the edge of the glass or part of our floor, so that is always in there. That can always be cropped out if somebody doesn't like it. Not sure why Lionel didn't just shim it up. Maybe they can't. Maybe you would just get the top then too. I don't know. And there is also a note that with the lights on, there is a glare. If I don't zoom in, there is a glare up top from the lights on the inside, which can be rectified by simply turning off the interior lighting with that switch. The only note is if you do that, then your exterior lights also turn off on the rear of the train. So we might have to turn it. There we go. I was about to say I didn't know how to get out of it for a second. We come over here to our record, and here's our little video. And of course we didn't move or anything, but we can see our time move, so there is that. We'll go back. And you can save this to your device and get it and put it on your computer or anything like that. But if we come back over here to our live video, we can come over, hit skip again, and we're back to live video. If I don't put my hand in front of you, I can put it in front of the car. And we'll come back. There's a little bit of lag, but it's not a bad camera, but it is not necessarily perfect. Okay, now that we've talked about how to get control of the camera using the Wi-Fi app, either Android or Apple, whichever one you have, that is one way. The other way is to use a laptop. That I know of. They don't have any way for it to work on Mac, but the car does come with this driver CD, and this will allow you to install this and be able to see your camera through your laptop. So you could connect that to a projector or TV or something and just project that out for everybody to see. If you're just trying to do something live, that's an option, but that's how you would do that. And then for all the instructions, your owner's manual that comes with the car has everything you need to know on it. It does, like I said earlier with this, sometimes it doesn't make sense. You just kind of have to go through it really slow. It takes a little bit to figure it out, but I think most people should be able to figure it out. Okay, we're over here at the old modular layout, our 21-inch passenger car friendly layout anyway, and got the car set up. I'll have the feed from the camera also on this video, so we ought to be able to see that. We'll go ahead and take it for a spin around the layout.
Union Pacific 3989, you are clear outbound. Over. Clear signal is green. 3989 out.
Alright, we've taken the car for a spin around the layout. As you can see, it runs very nice. Camera's not the best thing in the world, but it's a really cool car, stays connected, and is hidden in a really cool looking passenger car. The only other thing I find weird about it is if you've seen all the other excursion cars on the UP side anyway, the seats have a kind of a cream color plastic to them, whereas this car has got a gray to it. I've seen a different version of the theater car, and it's got the cream color seats in it. So I don't know why Lionel changed those. I mean, it's just, I find it weird, but you know, obviously there's probably a reason. Anyway, this is a neat car. It was originally cataloged in Lionel's 2017 signature catalog, and it MSRP's for right at $340. This concludes our review, the Lionel Fox River UP theater car. Make sure to hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. That way you get all the notifications on our product reviews. And then go over to Facebook and hit that like button there. That way you know about all of our train shows and open hours here in Wichita, Kansas. Thanks for watching.